To even be able to play an instrument, I'd say the first thing was probably like the Fresh Fest back in the 80s, which was a hip-hop concert. Like they had like a festival, and this was like 84, 85, and Run DMC and the Fat Boys, and you know, DJ Rockmaster Scott. And when I saw Jam Master Jay do his thing on the turntables, he was the first one that I saw. He wasn't the first one. You know, the first one was like Grand Wizard Theodore, but you know, he was the first one that I seen. And when I saw him do what he do on the turntable, scratching, cutting it up on 2 turntables, and you know, my man took his Adidas off and putting it on his arm and scratching the record all crazy and stuff. And yeah, I was inspired by that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, I want to do that. What that cat is doing. So I guess that was be one of the first events that made me want to even get into music. All kind of music, just rhythm in general. I guess like the first I guess would be like gospel and soul. For me, just that being able to sing with feeling like that, and be able to improvise, and it was always about the moment. I think when you go into the church and stuff and they're singing and they go into the shout music and you have the organ player, and a lot of that stuff was of the moment. It wasn't planned out, and it was just, the feeling that they had, rejoicing in God, and it was just, sometimes it would be an epic, it'll just be, everybody would be soloing and people would be shouting and singing. So I was always into that mantra aspect of music, that spiritual inculcation, like a group of people, like a tribe or something. They get together at night and they play about an event or something that happened during the day, or something that happened that was either ordinary. They would have different drum beats and different patterns and stuff that represented that thing that happened. So they would get together in a spiritual bonding and play about it,
Yeah.
And there was no planned out. It was just kind of just wherever the moment brought forth. So. Yes, big time. Yeah, because you feed off of people's energy, for once. A quote that I heard Ray Charles say. He says, "The audience is 50% of your show." So if you have your show is tight, you know what I'm saying, and everybody on stage is tight, musicians is tight, and whatever you got going on is tight, but the audience is the other 50%.
Yeah.
So their reaction and how they're responding, and that's very important. So yeah, the audience, yeah, you definitely get inspiration from the audience. Definitely.
All
right. Certainly, just to be artistic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just be artistic, and and express yourself, no matter who you are, and just be yourself, express yourself. My thing is just to inspire you to do that. That's well, yeah, but I don't think they succeeded. No, I mean, like coming up, where I was coming up, and and hip hop is very competitive. You know what I mean? So when you just starting off, and if you was whack, or the cats, if you wasn't up to what they thought, was acceptable, then you got what they call dissed, or they will let you know. So you would really, push to be competitive and be really good and develop your skills and stuff like that. So, and there's still, to this day, I still get, I go see piano players, and there's a lot of great piano players out there. I'm like, oh my God, this guy is it'll just put you back down in perspective.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I still haven't mastered this instrument. I still got a lot to learn,
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I wouldn't say this much discouragement. Is just critical. What do you call it? Not criticism, but yeah, criticism. James Brown. James Brown, yeah. I mean, from as young as I can remember, the first time I saw that footage of him on I think it was like Ed Sullivan's show, and he was doing Night Train and I Feel Good and all of that, and just the energy that he had, you know, and the movement and the music, you know, and the background singers had their little step. Everything was syncopated in with the rhythm, and you know, the drummers just, you know, everything was just locked down and was just perfect. And he would just dance, and he would turn around and conduct the band and go over and play the organ, and you know, he did it all. He was like a composer as well as a singer and dancer, and he did it all. So I would say that was probably my like
number one.
Yeah. Well, I guess I have a few. You know what I'm saying? I have a few cats that, you know, that I look up to. You know, one would be Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla, which is a hip hop producer.
Yeah.
He did, you know, he has his own interpretation of the funk. You know, just as James Brown, Sly Stone, they both were funk, and they had their own interpretations of funk rhythms. Where Jay Dilla in turn had his own thing going on.
Yeah.
You know, by quantizing or leaving the beat, you know, playing so behind the beat to where it's almost off or almost out of time, but it's not. There's that one element that keeps it together. You know, his beats. Where that cymbal, that 16th note, is so far back behind the beat, it almost is out of time, but it's not. And there's something else that just keeps it going and keeps it pulling. You know, so he has his own interpretation of rhythm, and you know that everybody is kind of, you know, borrowing from or taking from. So, yeah, in a sense, yeah, I do see Slang as a role model to others and myself as well. Just for playing jazz music in
general,
in clubs and in bars where young people, you know, they probably wouldn't listen to it otherwise, or listen to more rock or alternative or hip hop or whatever like that, and have them feel that improvisation like John Coltrane did, but with a hip hop beat. You know, so I would say, you know, and there's others too that do it too. You know what I'm saying? There's other bands out there that get down like that on that improvisational tip. And, you know, so, you know, I would say, you know, people kind of respect that. You know, look up to that, and then just, you know, I try to be, you know, a high-spirited person and try to be, you know, positive, man, and just social, you know, positive and social, you know what I mean? So you know, people dig that. So the role model, I don't know. You have to ask people.
You're my role model, Chuck.
Oh, thank you very much. There we go, man.
I say yes.